Hi and welcome everyone. In the last lesson of DIALux Evo, we discussed how can we add catalogs to DIALux Evo. Now we would like to understand how can we select or add luminaires from a catalog. Okay. So as you can see here, we have in light tab, the first one, you will see that here active luminaire. We said that when we click on select, we can go to the catalogs tab, okay, and then we can add additional catalogs, download it from the internet as we did in the previous lesson. So now we would like to go to Philips catalog, okay, so we will double click on it like this, okay, since we downloaded it and installed it. Now as you can see, this is the interface you will have when you open the Philips catalog, okay. So as you can see here, we can choose your own country. For example, I choose international, and as you can see, there is France, there is UK, and so on, depending on the country. And also you can choose the language you would like, okay. So I'm choosing the international region and the English language, okay. Now as you can see, we have two options: import from database and import from file. Okay, we are now working on single mode. Single mode, one luminaire. Okay, we would like to add one luminaire. Okay, not multiple. Multiple means more than one luminaire at a time. So I would like to add one luminaire from the database. So as you can see, first step, you can choose between indoor and outdoor. So as an example, since we are working in an office, such as in the previous example, in the manual calculations, we said we are working in an office, therefore we will use the indoor. If you would like to choose the luminaires of outdoor, you simply click on outdoor like this, okay. But since we are dealing with indoor, we will click on indoor. As you can see, we have CLO and CLO. What does CLO mean? It means a constant light output, okay, special function in luminaires, which produces a constant amount of lumens, okay. So anyway, it doesn't matter for us. We will choose both of them, the none and with this function, okay. It's not important for us. Now how can we select a luminaire, or how can I choose a luminaire? So we selected the indoor application. Then the first step, as you can see here, the first filter, we would like to select the luminaire according to code or name or whatever. So in my case, I would like to select it according to light source, the type of source. If we choose it, you will find here everything LED, okay, and you'll find here TL5, okay, and so on. So as you see, most of them in this update of Philips, most of these luminaires are LED, okay, and there is only two which are fluorescent, okay. You can also choose according to luminaire category like this and select. And as you remember, the luminaire category is the enclosure category. Is it a surface mounted? Is it recessed mounted? Is it suspended? Is it wall mounted? And so on, okay, according to the application. We discussed almost all of these types, okay. So as an example, in an office and we have an HVAC system, then I'm going to choose a recessed type, okay. Now second step, click here. You will find here also according to family code, name, driver, and so on. Now here, this time I would like to select according to light source. Now remember that we are dealing with indoor, okay, and recessed type. So we have only two types. We can have an LED or LED type, and we can have a fluorescent lamps, since we are dealing with indoor. So in this case, I'm going to choose, as you can see here, we have only the LED type. Any type of them, such as this one, okay, LED module having a luminous flux of 1500 lumens. You can see that different types of different lumens. The higher the lumen, the lower amount of modules required, okay. So when we have more flux, of each module or of each luminaire, it means that we will need lower amount of luminaires. So as an example, if I choose 5000, I need, for example, 2 luminaires. Okay, and if I choose 1500, I need 5 luminaires. Okay, so lower amount means higher number of luminaires required. Okay, so this is an example. We choose the 1500. Now, as you can see, then we are going to choose, for example, using the family code like this, and you can select the code if you already know what is the code. Okay, now as you can see here, this is the family code and family name like this, many types, and according to the driver itself. So as you can see, many types. So whatever it is, this type, you can see here the optic here representing the diffuser, the shape of the diffuser. So as an example, I will choose this one and choose this one, for example. This is the code. Each one of these have its own type. So as you can see, when I selected a random one of these, you can see that LED 15S. What does this mean? 15 and add 2 zeros gives us the lumens. So 15 means 1500 lumens. As you can see, 1500 lumens. Let's say as an example, another one. We click reset all to remove all of this. Okay, choose another one like this one, for example, and this one and this one. So as you can see, 15S is also 1500 lumens since I selected the 1500 lumens, 15S. Let's choose another one, 3600. You will find here 36S. Let's see, like this. Okay, select a random one like this. Okay, like this. As you can see, 36S. Why? Because 3600 lumens. As you can see, this source have a color code 840 representing the color code. As you can see here, the color here it is none. However, 840 means the color code is 840. Okay, so as you can see, this is the specs of the source. As you can see, the source produces 3600 lumens, and at the same time, when it reaches the working space, it has the same value, so it does not suffer from any losses. Okay, the power of the luminaire itself is 29 watts. So this one has one luminaire or one lamp made of LED. Okay, and this LED having a 3600 lumens, and its color is 840. Now, what is the value of colors? What does the color mean? We learned in the course about the codes or light codes in the color codes in color temperature, or the color code in Kelvin. Okay, now 840 is a color code. What does this mean? As you see here, this is what it means. We learned about Kelvin values. Okay, and this the equivalent color of this LED is 4000 Kelvin, for example, is 840. 6400 Kelvin means 865. 3000 Kelvin or warm white color having a code of 830. So when we have here, as you can see, 840 as a value of the color, code color, it means it is cool white, 840, which is 4000 Kelvin. Now remember that we said before, when we discussed the manual calculation and the different factors affecting the selection, we said that any room such as an office, for example, the office requires 4000 Kelvin, at least 4000 Kelvin, which means 814 code. So this one is suitable for our application. Okay, so LED 840, and this is the polar curve. This is the polar curve of this luminaire. Okay, so as you remember, we have two polar curves as we discussed in the lesson of two polar curves. We said that one of these is at angle from 0 to 90 degree, and the other one is from 90 to 270 degrees, okay, according to the installation angle. Now, for example, if I would like to, if I selected this one and I would like to export it, as you can see here, this is an image for the LED lamp, okay, LED luminaire used. Now, for example, I click on datasheet like this, and I'm going to choose it as a general uniform lighting. That is my own purpose, okay, not a spot. Then click on create datasheet like this, and you will have your own datasheet, okay, for this product. You can see the polar curve, the wattage, the dimensions, 60 multiplied by 60, 6 centimeter multiplied by 60 centimeter, which is used in office, okay, and number of lumens out, one lamp LED, 3600 lumens, and 840 as a color, okay. Now this one can be used in office. If you are working with an LED, using LED in your own project, you can use this one, okay, since LED or the light emitting diodes is providing takes lower amount of power and provides higher amount of lumens, okay. So this type can be used if you have a large budget, okay, if you can afford the LED. We said that LED is much better than fluorescent. However, the owner requires, or according to the owner budget, you can select either LED type or fluorescent type in the project, such as in an office building. So as an example, we can here click on file and see the print preview and so on, okay. Now anyway, so this is how we can select it from the base. This base is the Philips base. This is inside the DIALux Evo program. Now let's say, for example, I would like a fluorescent type, okay. So as you can see in this is the type, and you can see here there is no LED type. Now let's see, for example, the surface mounted like this, and we select a TL5, which is a fluorescent lamp. You can see most of them are LED. Now for a fluorescent like this, you can see different types of fluorescent, as you can see here, and the optic, which provides different polar curves, and this is the light source itself, okay. So as an example, I am working with let's see another one, 2 multiplied by 28, okay. So 2 multiplied by 28 means we have 2 fluorescent lamps with with a value. Each one of these is 28 watt, okay. Each lamp is 28 watt. So this is the one which have 2 multiplied by 28, 2 lamps or 2 fluorescent lamps, each one is 28. Now let's select the optic, and you will see the difference now. Optic representing the polar curve, okay, which is the distributor inside our luminaire. The distributor can be C6, D6, M2, and so on. All of these gives us different polar curves. Now if we select any of these, you will see the polar curve produced here. So as an example, C6 like this, you can see this is the polar curve produced, okay. So as you can see here, okay, and this one have the source flux, light source flux is 5250 and suffer from losses getting to 3500 lumens, okay. So as you can see, we used 2 multiplied by 28 watt, okay. Now if we use only one luminaire, 1 multiplied by 28, we will have half of this value. Remember, 5000 and 3500. So if we click on reset all like this and select 1 multiplied by 28 like this, C6, okay, you can see 2625 and 1969. So as you can see, lower value, okay. Now we can select, as you can see, optic representing the polar curve. As an example, C6 gives us these 2 polar curves, D6 gives us another polar curve. OD, for example, gives us a different polar curve. A, for example, as you can see, gives us a focus in one region. Okay, the polar curve is focusing on one region, or the lighting itself focusing in one region. If you don't remember anything about polar curve, return back to the lesson of polar curve. Okay, it's simply representing the distribution of light. So as you can see, the optic here gives us different polar curves. As an example, if we select C6, this one, for example, for illustration, we will click on Add, like this. Okay, you will see, close, you can see this luminaire, active luminaire. This one is the one which we selected. So if I click on Select and click on History, for example, you can see this is the luminaire which we selected, and then we can use it in our plan. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, let's say if I would like to add the fluorescent lamp which is not available here. I would like to add type of luminaire which is not available in the program. What can I do? In this case, you are going to choose import from file. So let's say we would like to get a luminaire for our project. Okay, what I can do? Simply, for example, we said before about TBS 165 is the luminaire or the fluorescent luminaire which we choose or we selected in our project, right? Now, what if I would like to add this luminaire which is not available here in this database to the program? What can I do? Simply, you are going to go to Google like this and type TBS 165 plugin download. Okay, click like this. Now we will find here Lighting Philips. Go to their official website like this. Okay, you can see this is the luminaire or the fluorescent lamp which I selected in the manual calculation. Usually this type is used in most of the projects. Okay, really important luminaire, fluorescent luminaire, which is used in every or almost every project. Okay, so we are going to use this in our project. Now, as you can see, this is TBS 165, which we used in manual calculations. It is 4 multiplied by 14. Okay, 4 multiplied by 14, which is 4 lamps, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one of these is 14 watt. And 840 representing the color code. As you can see here, 840, which is 4000 Kelvin, is cool white, which is good for our office. Okay, now as you can see other specs, everything about it, but I would like to take this one and add it to the DIALux Evo. What can I do? Simply, if you go down here like this, and you can see software plugins. So as you can see here, there are different types of software plugins according to the program. Here you will find the Relux, another program for lighting design. So you are going to select LDT, this one, and click on it like this, then download it. Okay, we'll download this compressed file. Okay, start to download. Now, after you download it, when you open the compressed file like this, you will find this one. This LDT file is the file for this luminaire, for this fluorescent lamp. Okay, now how can I add it to the program? Simply open the DIALux Evo like this, and then go to here, Luminaries. This one, same when we open the catalog. Then click on import from file. Then click on browse. Okay, select the folder at which the file exists. So my file exists in compressed like this here. Click on OK like this. So as you can see, here is our file. This file is the same as this one. Okay, now what are we going to do? Simply click on it like this. You can see this is our lamp TL5 14 watt, which is a fluorescent lamp 14 watt, 4 multiplied by 14. The luminous flux which we used in the manual calculation, 1200 lumens. And as you can see, C3 representing the shape of the polar curve, which is this one. Now I would like to add it to the DIALux Evo. Click on add, like this. Okay, you can see it is added to the DIALux Evo. So close this window. As you can see, select. You can find here this luminaire history. This is the luminaire, which is the fluorescent lamp. Okay, TL5 4 multiplied by 14 watt. Now we can use this one in our project like this. Okay, so in this lesson we discussed how can we select the luminaires from catalogs inside the DIALux Evo and how can we add it to our project. Before you go, I would like to invite you to our academy, Khadija Academy. You will find our course for electrical design here in the description below or in the first comment of this video. You will learn about AutoCAD, DIALux, how to design the lighting system, how to design the electrical system, such as panel schedule, circuit breakers and cables, how to do the single line diagram, how to do the load estimation, selection of transformer, generator room, voltage drop, earthing system design, generator sizing, UPS, lighting protection. Also, you will learn about light current systems such as fire alarm, MATV, telephone, data, CCTV, sound system, and also in additional to ETAP. So this course also is updated frequently with more and more content. Thank you and see you in our course.